This is your WW3 news of a Friday afternoon. Another week has ended. And obviously, as you may know, this Middle Eastern war's raging on. Despite all the horse shit we're being fed by the Western press. The newest one is that of the American administration, the Iranians are going to surrender pretty soon. A bit like this war will be over with a victory. There is no victory in sight for Israel and America. It's probably the fact they underestimated the Iranians and they never prepared a so-called military plan, basically. And the fact is, after the Second World War, any war which the Americans got themselves in the middle, they always come out with a tail in between their legs. And this could be just one of those wars yet again. Well then, news has been circulating around, and also it's been confirmed by the Americans, is missing an F-135, which is one of those flying oil fuel tankers, missing with an F-15 over the skies of Iraq. Well then, the Iranians said they shot it down with a missile. It's plausible. And obviously, Iraq was another scene of a Western military base under attack. No casualties there. Always in Iraq. Erbil, it's called. And it was an Italian military base, which you got attacked. There's like those Western garrisons are still there. What the fucking hell they're doing down there? So to no purpose. A bit like Afghanistan and so on. And obviously other aspects of the war continues. The fog of war. There's non-confirmed information probably from the Iranians. There was more than 3,000 American military casualties. Not mentioned to the American public. First Americans said it was 6, 7, 140, 150. Could be a little more than that. You know, this is a problem with the fog of war. You don't know what side is telling you the truth or just making propaganda. But mind you, on the Iranian side, I think they're a lot more careful what they show you. And also Tel Aviv in Israel. Obviously you haven't seen, you know, the film footages of the inhabitants of this city because, you know, there is 5 years of prison they do. But mind you, witnesses and film footage and even photos of certain neighbourhoods of Tel Aviv. They look like if it was Gaza. It's not Gaza. What's if Turkey? A few missiles from Iran has been flying over, been intercepted by NATO forces, and it goes to show, just like what you would call it in Cyprus, RAF Akatira, that Iranian drone crashing, and probably a few alarms of Iranian missiles hitting there. It goes to show how vulnerable these places are and how near they can strike. Probably was launched from Iranian territory. Or probably was launched from those so-called occupied thingy-bobs of Israel, Lebanon, Beirut, and places like that which are hostile to Israel. And obviously this war in the Middle East is having an effect on the prices on fuel. Some countries may have to come to the point of rationing it. Obviously they're releasing those reserves, but no, those reserves probably will last 5 to 6 days. What you can do afterwards to start thinking about in the future. And obviously the Western European countries have to think carefully before they get in the middle of this war. Also, a few Western countries like Italy, France and Germany are sending warships to this zone to escort containers and oil tankers through Hormuz Straits. Not even the American Navy wants to do it so. What are you going to do there? Be targeted by Iranian missiles, by chance, or drones? It's absolutely ridiculous. Some say this war is one of those losing games, not fought, not prepared. And obviously, I mentioned in a few videos ago the idea of American boots on the ground. Mind you, the Americans will find a so-called false flag incident to be justified to do that, and then we start drafting people because it's all ready. They need to just event, and whole war machine begins to turn over and put into action. Will this be the same with Europe? They tend to be dragged in the thing, although we'll be more cautious because, sincerely, if public opinion gets to know about the truth, if it becomes official, American casualties are that high, even probably Iranians have high casualties, but they never mention it publicly. As usual, it's all a game of fog of war propaganda. One thing is clear, the Iranians are a real toughie for Americans and Israelis. They seem to be underestimated in that manner. What else is that? Things will only get worse. If it drags on, the production of petrol and diesel will become a bit more difficult to obtain from these parts of the world. But mind you, the little bird saying probably they might even buy it from Russia, and that's what Russia wants. They're making money on these poor Westerners, and some say it was a trap well prepared for the Americans, Israelis. The Iranians knew it was coming. For sure they weren't caught off their guard. Probably the first time second time round, they retaliated in such a way. They fired missiles in 360-degree directions.